All right, I wanted to jump on and show you a little something I've been working on. This is actually in a GitHub repo, and you can play it as is. I will put a link, this link up here in the description, but that's where you can go and check it out. It's really only optimized for mobile at this point, which you can see. So that's why I'm just showing it like this, and it's a really nice, simple little version of on-base baseball. You can see that we have all of our normal on-base ratings here. We have the ratings for the batter and the pitcher. So this is a Sierra, and this is stamina. We have our inning and outs. We have the ability to manually manipulate by toggling these base runners on and off. And then we have our dice rolls here. So the two D6s and the D9. And it'll be a true D9. You won't have to play using a D10 or anything like that. And then we have all of our sort of our basic line score up here. Now, most of the things on here are touchable. So let's say you wanted to, you just click on pitcher, and let's say you wanted to have a guy with a 4.45 Sierra, and maybe his stamina is 6. So you bring in a reliever, and you can see that his chart changes to someone who is in that Sierra range. This would be a column 3 pitcher. If you wanted to bring in a guy who is, let's say, a 3.90, and maybe he can face 3 batters, then you can see it changes again. So don't have that ability to change the batter yet. And I'm not even sure, this is more proof of concept, being able to change these guys manually is going to be a pain in the neck for each batter. So I'm working on a system where you can sort of set up a lineup, choose from a roster of players, set your lineup, and then this will automatically roll through your batter. It'll check his ratings here, and then it'll feed you the appropriate outcomes so that you'll be able to play with that sort of being automated a little bit. We'll do the same thing with the pitchers, but you'll be able to make a change by clicking up here, and then it'll bring up probably a roster of pitchers that you can choose from, and you would insert them that way instead of manually inserting them. I've just kind of gone with like lowest common denominator to begin, just to do proof of concept and to get the game engine working correctly. So this is really a work in progress, but kind of fun and exciting because you could actually play a game here if you went to this URL, and you can play between this. It would just be that every batter is from column 3. So that's what you're looking at. So the way it works is you click down here and you roll, and you're going to get a roll. This is always going to work out right where the lower number is left. You'll never have to figure this out. Like there won't be a lower number to the right, kind of like when you're playing with regular dice. So you'll always read it left to right. So this is a 14, and the D9 is an 8. So on a 14, you go up here, and it's a hit by pitch or a walk if the D9 is a 2 or greater. It is a 2 or greater, so that's going to be a walk. And what you'll do is you'll just manually input the base runner there. If you want to change the teams, you can click up here, and let's say we have the Braves, and we have the Marlins. So this was a series that I played recently. So yeah, the Braves at the Marlins. You can put the full name, you can put the year, whatever you want to do. Most things on here are touchable. Some things are automatic, but what I wanted to do was to create something in between. So it's not fully automated, kind of like Strat Baseball Max, or Out of the Park or something like that that's fully automated. You click the button and it does everything for you. And it's not fully manual like if you're playing on the tabletop. So I tried to put automation where it makes sense. With the movement between innings, there will be some movement between these players through the lineup as well. But being able to manipulate the players on the field, being able to manipulate hits and errors and things like that, and maybe you all can give me some feedback because I can automate some of those things. But what parts do you want to be able to manipulate? So this doesn't automatically look at these results. You have to look at the results. You have to manipulate the players. You have to manipulate the outs, the hits, the runs, etc. And you have to actually make it go if there's an out. So we roll again. We got a 46. This time this is going to be a double play. or a strikeout if there's no double play situation. But with nobody out and a runner at first base, that's definitely a double play. We have a ground ball to the second baseman, so we're going to go 4-6-3 on the double play. So we'll add 2 outs. So 1, 2, and then we're going to wipe out that player at first, and now we have 2 down. And let's get another roll. So 26 is going to be a ground out. There's nothing over here. You can see the pitcher first, and there's a ground out, and that is going to be a ground ball to third base. So that's going to be the third out of the inning. When you hit on the third out, it's going to reset back to 0. It's going to set our team up here to the next half inning, so that when you're looking up here to add runs and stuff like that, you can remember, where you are, where your place is. So we get another roll. A 13 is going to be a ground ball out. Again, nothing off of the pitcher card. So that's going to be out number 1. A 25 is going to be a fly ball out, but there's an error check. That's what the plus means. So it's a fly ball to right field. We roll again, and no error on the play. So this player is a 0 on his defense. So that means only an error on a 1. But of course, as the players, as this grows and you get actual player numbers in there, you'll be able to see those defense ratings as well. So this is going to be their batting runs, defense, and speed. So that's going to be out number 2, and we roll again. A 55, that's going to be a line out or a foul out if the D9 is a 6 or greater. It's a 1, so that's going to be a line out to the second baseman. You could also play it where it's infield and outfield positions on a line out, so that could be a line out to right field if you wanted to get a little bit more variety. Or you could just play like we do with ground balls in the infield, and that's a line out to second. Either way, that's the third out of the inning. Once you do the third out of the home team, the inning moves automatically to inning number 2. It puts your highlight back to the visiting team, and then it'll also reset any batters that you have on base. So you just sort of keep continuing to play. This is a ground out to the catcher, and that's out number 1. A 55, this is another line out. This time it's going to be a line out to the catcher, which it can happen. So that's going to be a pop-up to the catcher, and that's going to be out number 2. And then here is a 23. That's a ground out with an error check, so that's to the first baseman. No error on the play, so that's going to be out number 3 again. We move here and hoping for a hit somewhere along the way. So this is going to be a fly ball out to right field. That's out number 1. 15, here we go. We have a base hit. So you're going to put a marker. That's a base hit to right field. And because it's the Marlins here, we're going to just simply click up there, and it's going to add 1 for our hit. 25 is going to be a fly out with an error check. It's fly ball to center field. Let's check the error on the play. No error. So that's going to be an out. And the runner's going to hold at first. So 2 down, and a 24 is going to be a strikeout. So you can see a double play or a strikeout with 2 outs. No need to try to turn a double play. That's just going to be strike 3. And you can see that everything gets cleared here. Everything gets moved back this way. And you can continue to play if you wanted to simulate bringing in different players. You could do that, and every time you do that, it changes your card here. So this is what you're going to look at first, and then if there's a result here, you'll take that result. Otherwise, you'll move over to the batter side. And then the game will continue on. If the game is tied after 9 innings, it'll continue on to inning 10 and 11 and so forth. If it's not tied, it'll just sort of revert back to 0. So it's not every process is polished yet, but you can play an entire game. I've played several games on here, and you just kind of are playing with the most average player, and you'll probably get results of a varying degree. Sometimes you'll score a lot of runs, sometimes you'll score not many. The better the pitcher, the fewer runs you're going to score. That's just kind of how the game is made. So I just wanted to show this off. I'll put the link, like I said, in the description of the video, and then you can go and check that out. You can play it right now. I'll let you know whenever new updates are made. Probably a short video like this where you can see what's going on. What I'm working on now is getting lineups, And what I'm eventually going to do is I'm going to connect this application to the database that I use to create the roster sheets and to create the cards for on-base baseball. So you'll be able to kind of have a splash screen, like an opening screen, where you'll be able to choose the year that you want to play. You'll be able to choose which teams you want to play, and then uh, you'll be able to put your roster together for those teams. It'll pull those actual players, it'll pull all their values out of that spreadsheet and pull them into this application. So you'll actually be playing on base baseball with the sort of root source data that I use to create the roster sheets and whatnot. It will be a game at a time. I don't have any ability or plans necessarily to do keeping stats and stuff like that. That's sort of next level. If you are a developer or you know a developer who would be interested or wants to work on a tabletop game being brought to uh, any device, this is actually, you can play it on your mobile device. This is all web based. So you can play this on a Kindle Fire. Theoretically, you could play this on a phone, a tablet. You could play this. It doesn't look very good yet. Although I have it looking better. Um, I have it looking better right now. I just haven't uploaded those files to this part yet. So maybe I can do that today, and it'll look a little bit better on the if you're playing it here. So it's going to look similar to this. These two things are going to be side by side, and you'll have all of the same stuff down here low, but everything is centered and just plays a little bit more like the mobile version here. So I'm putting together the rosters, pulling in the rosters, allowing you to be able to choose the rosters, put together your starting lineup, and then when you click into the batter, it'll pull your rosters back up, and you'll be able to replace the batter in the lineup and some different things like that. So I had to think a little bit more about flow and the way things are going to work with this application. Um, so dealing with the rotating lineups for two teams is a little bit more. I've done it before, so I just got to kind of remember how I did that and how those things work. But it's a little bit more complex than just what I have here. So that's why I wanted to start here. Obviously, being able to input your own players takes out an entire part of the AI or the logic of the game. So it makes it a little bit easier. So go and check it out. Let me know what you think. What needs to be automated more than this? Do you want a fully automated setting, like where you can say I want to play manual, or you can say I want to play automatic, or I want to play semi-automatic? Would you like three options? Would you like it to only be automated? So similar to what you're doing with uh, Strap Baseball Max, where you hit a button, everything happens for you. It calculates the outs, it calculates the base runners. I've done games like that too, where it kind of does everything. I personally don't like that because it takes away me doing stuff, and I'm not a big fan of just the ClickFest games. So, but there are some things that it gets so complicated to move all the pieces and move all the parts. You can forget very easily once you get into the game to change the inning and to do some of the other things, to go ahead and change the batter and stuff like that. So some things I feel like need to be automated just to kind of create some simplicity. But some things are kind of cool that you can just go through and you can customize the teams. You can input your own hits and scores, and it kind of keeps you in the game a little bit, especially with the tokens for the runners as well. So go check it out and let me know what you think about the game. Um, I like it. I like the way it plays. And again, if you're familiar with on-base baseball already, then you'll know how to play this. If you're not, you can go to clarkandaddisongaming.com and you can download. You can go to the free, like shop all games, the big green button in the right, and then on the left-hand side of that next page, there should be a free category. If you go to the free category, you can find the on-base baseball quick start guide, and you can download that, and you can kind of see how everything works with on base and be able to play this. So just a little something I've been working on. I know that Strap Baseball Max is all the hotness right now, but this feels more like what gamers have been telling me that they want from a digital game, which is to be able to roll the dice. You could even roll the dice yourself and just use this to do all the other parts, where you don't even have to input the dice rolls. You're just merely looking and then making the play happen, just like you do with on-base baseball. So maybe this is a good compromise for tabletop baseball and kind of keeping the flavor and the spirit of the game, while also giving you some manual responsibility to handle the game as well, which is, one of the things that we love about tabletop games is the tactile nature of having to do some of these things ourselves. So I will leave it at that. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comments section below. Otherwise, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.